Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Getting to the Facts. I'm your host, Andrew Curiel. We got another great episode today, guys. It's another topic that I feel the average person just doesn't have enough time to really get into. So I really wanted to dive into it and make sure that they can't get one over on us, okay? And it's another one of those topics. Again, I like to say all the time is we're trying to find that common ground, right? That middle ground where the majority of people can come together, and it's got to be our money. Like, we got to be able to protect our money and know what's happening when it comes to our money. So I just want to make sure that we're all aware of really what's going on when it comes to this. So we're going to dive into the topic here of ESG. I don't know if any of you know what ESG is, but it stands for environmental, social, and corporate governance. It's a type of structure that is going to determine basically the credit score for businesses. And it takes into consideration a lot of things. It's an approach, just here from their Wikipedia page. Environmental, social, and corporate governance, also known as environmental social governance, is an approach to investing that recommends taking environmental issues, social issues, and governance issues into account when deciding which companies to invest in. And that matters a whole lot because that determines the type of funds and the type of loans that different businesses can generate. And if we keep allowing this type of thing to keep progressing the way it is, it's going to get to small business. It's going to get what type of business, what type of loans can small businesses afford? And they're going to take into consideration this type of an approach when deciding that, which in my personal opinion, that goes against everything that capitalism stands for. Capitalism is about making sure that you can make a profit with your business model for your consumers and for your stakeholders. If you're on this in the stock market, if you're a publicly traded company, but I care more about what this is going to end up leading to small business, knowing that 90% of our economy is made up of small business. And that's the average person like us that we really need to worry about. So really wanted to get in so we can kind of understand what this is doing. But since 2020, there's been accelerating incentives from the United Nations to overlay ESG data with the Sustainable Development Goals based on their work, which began in the 1980s. The term ESG was popularly used first in a 2004 report titled Who Cares Wins, which was a joint initiative of financial institutions at the invitation of the UN. In less than 20 years, the ESG movement has grown from a corporate social responsibility initiative launched by the United Nations into a global phenomenon representing more than $30 trillion US dollars in assets under management. In the year 2019 alone, capital totaling $17.67 billion US flowed into ESG linked products, an almost 525% increase from 2015. Critics claim ESG linked products have not had and are unlikely to have the intended impact of raising the cost of capital for polluting firms and have accused the movement of greenwashing. And guys, this is a big thing too, that I really wanted to make sure that we're aware of is this is basically saying that businesses and companies have to have a certain emissions, a carbon emissions footprint. It's got to be no higher than a certain level. So they're really trying to worry about that. And they're really trying to push when it comes to having minorities in the workplace, which obviously I'm for, but the thing that I hate when it comes to when it says having minorities in the workplace is like, are we going for diversity or just having minorities? It seems like you just have a whole company of minorities and then bam, you have a perfect rating when it comes to that, when we should be pushing for diversity. So that, again, this whole equity thing that they keep trying to push really irritates me because we should be pushing for just real diversity, which is having a little bit of not just every race, because it's not about skin color. It's about diversity of thought and having different types of people and different ways of thinking involved within the company. That's what makes companies, and that's what's made the United States so great, is we had not diversity of your skin color, because that's never really mattered. What matters is allowing the diversity of opinion and the diversity of way of life to shine through, and not having racism hinder that. And I felt like we were doing a great job of getting there, and now we're just trying to reverse it when it comes to this ESG stuff. And we're really trying to push, the climate change initiative. So it's really just pushing one way of thinking in the public sector when it comes to business. And that worries me a lot, because now it's like, usually businesses, the way they make money and they keep getting bigger is they appeal to their consumer base, and they can figure out ways to keep growing their consumer base. But they always make sure that they're pleasing the consumer. With this ESG stuff, guys, they're no longer caring about the consumer. They're caring about the investor, the person who's investing, who has stocks, stock options and things into their company. But that's not usually the average person anymore. The people that actually have the biggest stake in companies are other huge multi-million and multi-billion dollar companies. They're the ones investing these hundreds of millions of dollars to keep pumping up these stock options for these huge corporations. So that's what worries me, is that they're going to push whatever narrative that they want, whatever they think is going to be best for them. They're going to push that narrative no matter what their actual customer base says. And that's why there's certain companies running into certain issues. Like when it comes to the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing with Bud Light. Like, the average person is just like, okay, like, I don't care about this guy. Like, why are we celebrating this on a beer can? You know what I mean? And you're going to have customers revolt, but because Bud Light is owned by a bigger conglomerate, they can only get hurt so much. And the bigger company that owns them, it's only hurting their bottom line by 2 or 3%, because they own hundreds of other businesses. They have such a huge portfolio to where they can allow Bud Light to lose. And that's what's worrying, is because now the average person, the average American and the average just consumer across the whole globe is no longer dictating how companies move forward. They're moving forward with what they want to do now, because now they have the ultimate big money investors that are just going to keep pumping them full of money. So that's the huge problem. That's why I hate how businesses are able to buy other businesses to this extent. And I really wanted to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this, is this article right here. 17 companies that basically own everything. They don't own everything, but they own a lot. Okay, we're going to go through this list real quick, and just some of these big companies that I know Johnson & Johnson, PepsiCo, Procter & Gamble, Unilever. I don't know Unilever. Mars, Coca-Cola, Mondelez International, don't know that. Kraft Heinz, we know that. General Mills, definitely know that. Kellogg's, Comcast, BlackRock, Nestle, JM Smucker Company. I mean, I know Smucker Jam. I don't know if that's it. Danone, don't know that either. Associated British Foods, and Berkshire Hathaway. And Berkshire Hathaway, guys, I don't know if you know, is Warren Buffett. Okay, that's his old conglomerate right there. And we're going to go through here just so you know what Johnson & Johnson owns. Okay? Notable brands that Johnson & Johnson owns: Aveeno, Band-Aid, Carefree, Dabo, Dr. C. Labo, don't know that one. Johnson's, La Petite Marseillaise, I don't know what that is. Listerine, Motrin, Neutrogena, Nicorette, OGX, Stay Free, Tylenol, Zarbee's. Guys, I mean, these are huge products. I mean, a lot of them, these are huge products that we definitely know in the United States, but PepsiCo for sure. Alva, I don't know. Why the hell? They start off with a name that we don't know. Baconettes, Bear, Bolt 24, Brisk, Bubbly, Cap and Crunch, Cheetos, Chester's, Cracker Jack, Dole, Doritos, Gamesa, Gatorade, Grandma's. Man, is that Grandma's cookies? Oh, that sucks. Health Warrior, Hilo Life, Kavita, Lay's, Life Water, Lipton, Lipton Iced Tea, Luza, Matador, Maui Style, Mazanita Soul. Man, they own Mazanita Soul too. Dang. Miss Vicky's, Mountain Dew, Munchies, Munchos, Muscle Milk, Naked, Nadu Chips, Near East, Neon Zebra, Ocean Spray, Off the Eaten Path. Guys, I mean, they got everything. Sierra Mist, Smart Food, the Smart Food popcorn. Man, that's some good popcorn too. Ruffles, they own Ruffles. Pure Leaf, that Pure Leaf tea, Propel, Pepsi, obviously, Pearl Milling Company. Shout out Aunt Jemima. I'm sorry, Aunt Jemima. I'm sorry to the whole family. They screwed you with the Pearl Milling Company. I'm sorry about that. Spit Seeds, Sobe. They own Sobe. It's just, guys, I mean, Stacy's. It's insane. You know, it's just absolutely insane. Oh, Sun Chips, Tropicana. Man, they can't even leave Tropicana alone. It is just insane, guys. And remember, these big companies are the ones that are deep in the ESG. So they're no longer caring about the consumer. They already know that their products that they have been around so long that people are just going to buy it. They're not going to care. They know that they can do whatever the hell they want, basically, or that's what they're thinking. And we're still going to buy their products. So they're going to have money coming in. That's no big deal. So whatever initiative and narrative that they want to push, they are going to push. And that is a problem. And that should be a problem for everybody. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want every product to have a certain way of thinking jammed down my throat. You're here to sell me a product. You're not here to try to tell me how I'm supposed to think, you know, and I wouldn't want to do that to you. And I wouldn't want a company to do that to me and vice versa. Like, it's just, I mean, it's just insane where we've gone when it comes to this stuff, guys. It's just absolutely insane with what we're allowing, you know, so again, it's just something that I feel that we really need to pay attention to as an average person, because this is exactly the type of thing where they're like, oh, no average person is really going to dive into this because it's going to take more than 5 minutes to really understand what's going on when it comes to the ESG way of investing and what that really means to the average person. You know, so I hope I explained that to you guys and kind of dumbed it down enough to really understand. I mean, I had to dumb it down for myself, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, it's a lot, you know, it definitely is a lot. And they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose because, I mean, now, I mean, it's so easy. I mean, I love Doritos. Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch Doritos, love them. Flamin' Hot Cheetos, love them. Chester's Flamin' Hot Fries, love them. Like, it's hard to not use these products. And it's not, I'm not saying that I don't use these products, but what I'm saying is we need to be aware of this, and we need to get louder about not being okay with the things that they're trying to push. And we need to go back to a real capitalistic way of viewing our economy again, because ever since the pandemic, it seems like there is a very strong government control, and I wouldn't even, maybe control is a little too hard a word, but there's definitely a strong government recommendation on what the private sector should be doing, and that worries me, because that's, if we start allowing that, and it keeps getting, it just keeps evolving over time, and it keeps getting worse over time, we're not going to be in the United States anymore. This is not how our entire economy that ended up being the world economy and put us to a level that's never been seen before when it comes to economic and military power in this world. It is going to go away so quick if we allow this. So, you know, guys, I just want to make sure we stay informed, and I'm not saying don't use these products, but just saying that maybe cut down the amount that you actually buy, and maybe cut down the amount that you actually use until they start making changes that actually, you know, more align with what businesses should worry about. And businesses should just worry about you buying their product, not about any type of LGBT issue, not about any type of religious or I mean, just any type of an issue. I don't want a business to tell me what they want us to think. I want you to sell your product and make it a product that everyone wants to buy. That's all a business should be doing. All right. Leave it up to the average person and communities to determine what is best for them and what they want to think. Without having influence of multi-million and multi-billion dollar industries and different companies like that. So, but I appreciate you guys. Hope you really liked the episode today. Again, make sure you press that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video too with anybody that you think might like this topic and take something from this topic. Again, guys, I just try to make sure we try to find as much common ground as possible, because I'm really pissed off that people are starting to think that we're in it's the most polarized time in the world. And I really don't believe that. If you just step outside of the internet and you go into the real world, we're not as polarized as the media and the whole social media world is trying to make it seem. So let's just try to keep putting facts out there, leave the emotions at the door, and let's just try to keep coming together as a community. All right. But appreciate you guys. Stay blessed. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see you on the next video.